I never thought I would see the day where a Winnie the Pooh movie would be better than a Kung Fu Panda movie. But I am alive to be able to tell you it's true. Last night I just watched Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2, directed by Reese Frank Waterfield. And oh my god, what a fun treat this was. So this here is a sequel from last year's Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie and the second movie in the new Twisted Childhood cinematic universe, which is being set up with Pooh, Bambi, Peter Pan, and we're getting a Poohniverse Monsters Assemble movie in 2026, really following that MCU route, but I'm all for it. I love a good off-brand, non-Hollywood film, and I'm here to watch it. Starting off the plot of the film. The film starts 1 year from the first film, and we see some teenage girls camping out in the 100-acre woods playing with the Ouija board. It's pretty generic, you know, they're like, nothing scary is going to happen, and then bang, we get Pooh, Owl, and Piglet come and slash up some bodies. Some amazing kills to start off the film. Really entertaining, really fun. We then cut to Christopher Robin, who's dealing with the struggle of everyone not believing him and then some people believing him, with him being accused of murdering the teenager girls from the first movie. We then see a group of guys go into the 100-acre woods to try to hunt down the creatures to see if, as these boys actually believe Christopher Robin and they want to see if they can find the creatures and kill them themselves, only for them to go bye-bye. All but one, who gets away looking absolute bloodied up and terrifying. It's so gross to the point where it's so cool. Then see Owl talking to Pooh and how they need to start taking the fight to Ashtown and I guess being these monsters that they created. And here we get our first little tease that there's something in a cage, and it's Tigger. It's my boy Tigger. Cutting back to Christopher Robin, we see him lose his job as a doctor, which is heartbreaking, only for the guy who escaped from Pooh to get rushed into the hospital all bloodied up, looking absolute nightmare. He looked so bloodied up and gory. It was amazing. We then cut to Christopher Robin again, who's back at his therapist trying to dive deeper into his memories, and this is where we get our reveal and backstory of Christopher Robin, that his little brother Billy and some of his friends when he was younger got kidnapped by someone, and he can't put a face to the person, but he can see the person's blurry face. So then Christopher Robin goes home and he talks to his parents about what he saw, and his dad's like, yeah, you know what, you did call out my name, maybe this therapy is working, and maybe we'll get some answers on what happened to your little brother Billy. We then get to see some policemen go into the 100-acre woods and the police see some body bags hanging and they say, let's bounce. And then we hear Tigger say, that's my line. And oh my God, I said to my brother, that was wicked. That was amazing. Christopher Robin then interacts with the person who got dragged into the hospital and he writes on the whiteboard, they did this. And this is when Christopher Robin realizes that they are on their way here and they are still out for blood. And he also sees a janitor who's staring. And then Chris Robin's like, that guy, that's the guy that took my brother. So he follows him back to his house and he gets some answers, and the guy's like, yeah, I took the kids and I gave them to a scientist who experimented on them. And then he followed him out and he saw that he killed these kids and buried them only for them to not stay buried. Now this guy was experimenting with hybrid DNA from humans and the animals, hence being Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, Owl, all these other characters that we love, creatures, and they became the monsters. Therefore, Christopher Robin's brother Billy is actually Winnie the Pooh. Now, in this movie, we meet a new character named Lexi, who is this kind of love interest for Christopher Robin, and we see her babysitting this little kid. Now, there was a really cool scene in here where he's watching the first Blood and Honey movie on the TV, and it was actually 3C Films, who is a YouTuber I actually really inspired by, who his review on that, the little kid was watching it and he goes to Lexi, isn't this movie about your boyfriend? So the first movie, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, is actually like a movie that they made based on the events, and it was cool that they were watching it. I thought it was such a creative idea to have that and people not be like, hang on, don't they look different? Because in the movie, the creatures look different from the first film. So you kind of can be like, the first film was a film based on the events of the first film. It's so complex, but it's so cool. And I thought it was amazing. Now we see Pooh try to attack Lexi and this little boy only for them to escape, and Christopher Robin's like, nah, I've got to go home and see if my parents are right. So he goes home only for Pooh to kill his mum and dad, and his little sister Bunny, whose real name is Ella, but she calls herself Bunny now, Pooh leaves alive. Now here you kind of get the dots connected together, that Pooh goes into Billy's old room and sees a picture of Billy and just kind of stares at it for a bit, so you know that Billy is Pooh and Pooh is Billy. Now, this next part of the film was absolute pure gold. We see Pooh, Owl, and Tigger go into this rave party that is being held in this like dingy old warehouse looking thing. And here we get a bunch of bloodbath kills. Like, it's amazing. The way they shot this as a filmmaker, I was like, that's so creative. We see like the silhouette of Pooh slashing and the blood splattering. Tigger gets some amazing kills and his one-liners are pure gold. You get one final showdown with Christopher Robin and Pooh back in the 100-acre woods, only for Christopher Robin to have an axe slashing Pooh in the head, with Pooh finishing his line, "Oh bother." Honestly, it was a fun ride. Now, in terms of acting, there isn't any Oscar-worthy performances in here. Mind you, these aren't A-class tier actors either. Christopher Robin has been recast to Scott Chambers, who honestly has a very bright future ahead of himself. He was pretty good. I thought he was a standout in this film. Definitely brought a different layer to Christopher Robin in this film compared to the first actor of the film. And then Talia Evans, who plays Lexi, she's pretty good as well. She feels like she belongs in a horror film, so she did a really good job as well. And then the actors who played Pooh, Owl, Tigger, and Piglet, they were amazing. Their one-liners and when they spoke in the film was really cool. Standout for me was definitely Tigger. I thought his writing was so cool. Tigger being that fun, lovable character, he still brings that fun and joy to the film. And every time he was on screen or said something, I was chuckling, I was laughing. It was a load of fun. Now, the pacing of the film, was slow. It was slow, don't get me wrong. It did drag a bit, but every time we had the kills on screen or just one of the creatures on screen, it was such fun. The kills are crazy, so it made up for it. And then that last half of the film at the party, that was just, I wanted just that the entire way through, and we would have had a fantastic film here. So all in all, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, it's supposed to be an entertaining, fun movie. And if you go in there expecting to watch some big blockbuster film, you're going to be disappointed. But if you go in there with an open mind, just for some fun, some creativity, some cool kills on screen, you're going to have a blast. And I certainly thought this film did all that. So for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, I'm giving this one a 7 out of 10. I had such a good time in the movies watching it. I was laughing at how stupid some of the things were, and then I was like, no way, on how cool some of the things were. And honestly, I'm really excited to see where we go in this next chapter of the Twisted Childhood universe. We do get, at the end, we get Pooh and Piglet regenerating themselves, and we see some artwork of what Pinocchio is going to look like, what Peter Pan is going to look like, what Bambi's going to look like, all for the upcoming films. So I'm keen. I do like myself some gore films like this, and especially your films like Terrifier. The first one was a bit iffy. The second one was really cool, really gory, and now the third one's going to be even better with a higher budget, with more people interested in these films. They're going to push their writing to the next level, the kills to the next level, everything to the next level. And I believe they're going to do the same here. So, like I said, if you guys want to go watch a fun, entertaining movie, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 is the one for it. But apart from that, thank you guys so much for watching. Be kind, love one another. Now I'm about to go watch Godzilla Kong. See you in my next one. Ciao.